Today is July 23rd, 2020, and this is your daily Half-Life 3 update. There is no news about Half-Life 3. I did see that there were some gameplay footage or trailer or whatever released for Halo Infinite today. I guess, is Comic-Con going on? Did it start yesterday or something? I don't know. I know they're doing like an online Comic-Con, and E3 isn't happening, but I guess they just decided to release it at this point. I don't really know. And I'll be honest, the game does look pretty good. It definitely looks. It honestly looks more like Halo 1 than some of the other more recent Halo games, like more so than Halo 4 and 5. It does look really good. I'm kind of really excited for it. It's nice to see that they have brutes back. I kind of wasn't expecting that a little bit. I know we haven't seen brutes since Halo 3. I mean, maybe if you count like Halo Wars. I don't count Halo Wars, even though I guess you should, since like the faction, the Banished, that's in this game, I guess they were a part of Halo Wars 2, or they're like a subset of the Covenant that broke off and went rogue or something. I guess they're the main threat, at least for the beginning of the game. At least I think, because obviously knowing where Halo 5 left off, you still have to deal with stuff dealing with Cortana, and all the AI growing rampant. So it'll probably, in typical Halo fashion, you'll probably fight this Banished for a while, and then whatever other threat will also show up. Like how in the first 3 Halos, you fought the Covenant for a little while until the Flood show up, and then in Halo 4 and 5, you fought the Covenant for a little while until the Forerunners show up. And I don't know if we're still going to see more Forerunners in this, like the Promethean Knights, I think they're called. But I never thought they were anything special, though. There are a couple interesting things there. It looked like they brought back the Mauler and the Spiker, which were like only in Halo 3. And that's interesting. I always thought those were cool guns. I mean, at least it looked like those guns. I don't know if they wore that. I think the gun that looked like a Mauler, I think, because the Mauler is like the brute version of the shotgun, but it's like one-handed. It looked like it, but I don't think it was called it. I think it was called like the Mancer or something. But it's definitely looks like it. So if they did bring back those guns, that's pretty cool. You did see there was, there were elites and jackals. I mean, there were grunts and jackals and brutes. There was one elite I saw, which I was kind of surprised to see that elite, because once I saw that they were bringing brutes back, I thought it would be more like Halo 3, in which you were now allied with the elites, and you were mostly fighting grunts, jackals, and brutes. So it's interesting that there are going to be some elites in there. I'm curious as to how that all plays out with the Arbiter, and if we're even going to see the Arbiter in this game. I hope we see the Arbiter in this game. I'd really like, Chief and the Arbiter to fight side by side again. That would be really, really cool. I also saw briefly there was like a hologram screen, something that showed the Infinity and marked it as destroyed or deceased, which you don't mark a ship as deceased, but anyway. So it's interesting if that's something. That would mean Lasky and what is it, Sarah Palmer? Is her name Sarah Palmer? Because like the Spartan that's on the Infinity with Lasky, her name can't be Sarah Palmer. Because Sarah Palmer is Laura Palmer's mother, Twin Peaks. That can't be right. I'm probably wrong, and her name probably isn't Sarah Palmer. But if it is, that's really weird. Anyway, so is that like gonna say that those characters have now died? Because I would like to see them again, especially Lasky. I kind of like that character. He had that movie thing with the girl from Chronicles of Narnia was also in it. I don't remember what the movie was called, but it was pretty good. And now, of course, the big like gameplay thing is Master Chief has like a grappling hook he can use to pull himself up to high places or pull stuff towards him. Seems very like Just Cause. That seems kind of cool. It'd be interesting to see what gameplay mechanics how that can factor into the gameplay. Sprinting is a thing, but I guess that's kind of been a thing since Halo 4. Can you sprint in Halo 4? I think you can. No dual wielding, at least that we saw. No dual wielding. There's still probably a lot of things that we haven't seen yet. Specifically, whatever this second set of enemies will be that I think is most likely going to happen. Of course, I still think that we're getting the Flood. I think the Flood are going to be in this, but I saw that it was a T. Game was rated T, so that might push to not having the Flood. But I think we're going to be getting the Flood in this game. Or anything else that I saw that I thought was interesting? Oh, it's like open world set on the Halo ring. I don't know if it's the same ring that you see Cortana activating at the end of Halo 5. That could explain. I mean, if it is the same ring, then we now know that the Banished have taken control of that ring. So, that could be how everything kind of ties in with Cortana. If she's on this ring and the Banished have taken it over, can like she not do anything because the Banished have taken over the ring, or is she kind of working with the Banished in some way? Yeah. I also wonder if we're going to see Spartan Locke again. That would be interesting. Probably not. I feel like it isn't gonna follow too closely to the story of 4 and 5. I think this is gonna be much looser of a sequel to those, because even amongst Halo fans, Halos 4 and 5 weren't exactly didn't receive the best reception. So they might stray away from that a little bit. That's why you might see, killing off those characters by just having the Infinity destroyed and tying up that storyline pretty neatly there, which I would kind of be disappointed in. I do think it is Spartan Palmer, but I can't. Wow. Anyway. Yeah, and there's just other things that I would be interested in seeing at this point. I'm curious about the vehicles, what we might see from vehicles. I know we'll see the Warthog. We'll see the usual Warthog, Ghost, Banshee. I would be surprised if they got rid of any of those. Scorpion, Wraith. I would like a much larger selection of vehicles, kind of combining everything we have. You want to have the Mongoose, you want to have the Hornet, and the Falcon. Was it the Hornet and the Falcon? I know the Hornet was in Halo 3. I think they brought it back for Halo 5. I think Halo 5 had a pretty good selection of vehicles, actually. Yeah. But, yeah. And that has been your daily Half-Life 3 update for July 23rd, 2020. I'm actually really looking forward to Halo Infinite. I haven't looked forward to a video game in a while, and it'll be nice that I will be able to play Halo Infinite without having to buy a headset or a new computer.